The following radio program you're about to listen to is provided to you, the listener, by Inked Geek Studios. Get this and other great shows at inkedgeekstudios.com. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Mind of a Geek. I am your host, Nate, and I am joined, as always, by Brandon.
Hi,
What's up?
I'm here.
You are. We are a little bit more illuminated this week. Last week we kind of forgot to move the overhead light.
As always, things are different
So,
week to week.
So the live Twitch audience can see us, and the YouTube viewers can see us. So
The best
hello.
thing for you, Twitch and YouTube viewers, is that the camera's not so up on us.
Yeah, I forgot there was a camera mount behind the iMac, and I utilized that this week.
It's nice.
So yeah, it works.
You can't see our fat bodies.
Elevated. No, we're tucked away.
We're just tits and heads, man. Tits and heads.
So we are back for 2 weeks in a row, which is the first time in a little while.
Well, that's our MO.
It is, yeah, 2 weeks and then 2 weeks and then, yeah, it works. But we're back and we're consistent and we're good. But no, the studio's lit and we're ready to do a show. Are you ready for the weekend?
I've been on vacation, man.
Oh, yeah,
so no,
yours
not
is coming to
really.
an end. Yeah,
Yes.
This weekend marks the end of your vacation.
Yes, it's a sad
So
state of
that kind of
affairs.
sucks. It does indeed. But anyway, this show isn't about us
It's not.
completely.
It's mostly about us.
It's about our guest. Our guest this week, if my screen thing wants to move, there we go, is one of the hosts of the Geek Girls podcast and is also a game streamer. I think you said Twitch. You didn't say what Twitch. So
Yeah.
Twitch is wide open these days, but a game streamer on Twitch at twitch.tv/TheGenPlays. So The Gen, welcome to Mind of a Geek.
Hi,
How are you this evening?
I'm doing well.
Thank you for taking the time to come on.
Absolutely.
I think it was this holiday season and everything else. I had so many people. We have days that are double booked. We have like people that like I contacted and never got back to you. So I sent like a blanket email to everyone and I was like, "Hey, I'm scheduling. Respond."
And it's funny because I happened to be like looking at my inbox at that moment and I was like, oh, I will respond right now.
Well, that works out well. So again, thanks for getting back to us. So why don't you tell us a little bit? We'll start with the podcast because I'm curious as to because you said that you did it. You didn't really explain it much in the submission. So why don't you tell us about Geek Grills and what it is and what it's all about?
Yeah, so the Geek Girls podcast was really just started as a well, honestly, it started as a I don't want to call it a dick waving Heroes of the Storm match. That's basically what it was. It was Willie Dills and a bunch of us girls that hang out in his channel that wanted to take on Jocelyn Moffat's Ladies Night. And so we had an exhibition match, and so there was 4 of us grills. We were Dills Grills, and we decided to get together. We practiced. We stomped the garbage out of them. It was wonderful. And then a couple of us were talking. We've been hanging out so much, practicing. And I was like, I wanted to do a podcast. And one of the other ones wanted to do a podcast. And then one of the other ones wanted to do the podcast. And there you go. And so we decided to start a podcast.
Well, there you go. So what are the things that you cover on the podcast?
So, it's funny because the original intention, we kind of thought it was going to be one thing. And then as podcasts do, it kind of morphed into something else. But
Right.
really, our main focus was the fact that we all loved podcasts and we were absolutely tired of the 2 dudes, 1 token chick, or all dudes podcast ratio.
Hi.
So our idea,
Yeah, hi.
hey guys, hey. So we decided to make a podcast where the 3 people on the hosts on it were all female, and that was it. That's like the only, I guess, protesty feminist agenda of the whole thing is just having female hosts. But other than that, it's open season. It's whatever we want to talk about. It's whatever we feel like should be talked about. We've had episodes where we've talked about the silliest things. We've had like what my WoW pet addiction problem issues. And then we've had episodes where we've had some people on talking about some medical conditions and stuff. It's just really crazy emotional episodes. Like I think about some of them and I'm like, oh God, that was intense. But yeah, just the gamut. And a lot of times we're all nerds, so just different kinds.
It's fun when you can cover everything.
Hmm.
We do that. I mean, our All Geeked Up show is kind of like that. It's a little geek focused, but it hits just about everything.
Yeah, it's a catch-all.
Yeah, and it's nice. I mean, you do, from what I've noticed, like you will lose some people because like some people want some consistency. Like there are people that will listen to, whether they listen to, you know, podcasts or watch movies or whatever. Like people like to know what they're expecting to get from a said
Yeah,
property.
and there's podcasts out there for that, but we're here for our own pleasure.
Right.
So we're going to do what we want to do.
It's nice to change it up. It keeps it exciting because not only from a fan perspective, but from a host perspective, like if you get bored of your own brand, there's a problem. And if you're making it interesting every week, it definitely allows for that not to happen.
I think part of it too is just that the freedom to just we kind of all of us have the philosophy is that you can geek out about anything.
Right.
Like Ember 9 of 12, one of the hosts, she's one of the original hosts. We did lose one host a year ago, but we got somebody new a couple months ago. So we've had one grill trade out for another grill, but but Ember, she's like cooking is her thing. Cooking is not my thing, but she totally geeks out on that, and that is a thing. Like she sent me jerky in the mail that it was more delicious than any beef jerky I've ever had anywhere else. But you know, I'm into things that are not really her jam. Like I paint tiny models and then fight on battlefields with them at a game store on weekday nights because that's a fun thing to do.
Nice. My co-host of Indie Case Files, you probably know it. Amy Frost. You know, you've at least heard of Amy, I assume. Yeah, because she does like the Tad Santa stuff and everything. Yeah. So we do Indie Case Files. Yeah, she's really big into miniature painting and wargaming and stuff like that. I've tried. I love it. I think I have one model that I've almost finished. For me, it's time. But it's definitely a cool thing.
I haven't been able to do much the last couple months. I feel like painting is such a job and I was getting away from it. It's actually something that a lot of people have asked for me to start doing on my channel is to put some of my painting on there. Because I've shown off some of my pieces to people that listen or people that follow my channel, and that's definitely something I had planned on doing. But I've set that target at like June or July is when that will start. But I do War Machine, and I do think it would be kind of fun to get on and just paint on stream. And now that you can do creative on Twitch, why not?
Right. It is. I mean, I tried to do it a little bit as a new person when I was doing it. The only thing I've noticed with it is the resolution of the camera is very important because you either get all or nothing. So it's a lot of it is just it's the right aiming, and you have to be so, and maybe that was my problem because you have to be so focused on where you're putting your hands because like yeah, you can watch someone paint, but like if they're covering everything they're doing, like where they're holding the brush, like so
it's not like Bob Ross, man.
No, it adds when you have to hold what you're painting, it becomes a little bit more difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You could never be that calm. That guy is just out of control. The opposite of out of control. He's completely in control.
I've settled that he is constantly hollering internally.
Bob Ross?
Yeah.
Here's a happy little Chaos Marine. We'll just put a little blood over here. Maybe a nice happy skull.
Like a happy little skull.
Yeah, I would love like somebody to like do like a Bob Ross cosplay and live paint Warhammer figures. As long as they can act, that would be absolutely wonderful.
I'm like imagining. I'm enjoying it. Yes, somebody do that. Internet, make this happen.
So you mentioned a WoW pet addiction. I like my non-combat pets.
Oh,
well, I guess they're technically
I collected
combat
them
pets
before they were Wowkimon.
Okay.
So it got worse when they became Wowkimon. It's a real problem.
I went after the big ones. I spent, I want to say it was like a 15-hour block of time farming the epic parrot in Booty Bay. And then I got one, and then I was deciding whether or not I wanted to sell it. And this is when it was selling for like hundreds of thousands of gold. And then within an hour, I got a second one. So I sold one and kept the other one, which was cool. I haven't touched much with WoW lately. They need to make that a mobile game. They need like Blizzard.
I don't know why Battle Pets has not been a mobile game. You have the companion now. You've had Armory. Come on, figure it out.
Even if it's not Battle Pets proper, like give me like Battle Pets Go. Like give me Pokemon Go with the Blizzard license with Battle Pets, and I will be happy. How would you feel about that?
Like,
oh, I don't give a shit.
Let my guys fight. You're really into those, so you really like it.
I'm into WoW, but I don't have the time. But no, it's a good idea. I'm surprised they don't have that yet.
They're working on something for mobile.
Maybe. I'm really excited for the expansion. To be honest, I kind of tapped out on it. This is the first expansion I really just absolutely tapped out on. And then I was at BlizzCon, and when that cinematic dropped, I probably could have leapt out of my friggin' chair.
I loved the cinematic.
Absolutely stoked.
Until they made Anduin like the Jesus wannabe. Like, I mean, I hate a lot.
Anduin Wren. Nobody likes him.
Well, he's better than his dad. Like, I'm glad he's dead. But I mean, I'm a Horde player anyway. So when they killed Vol'jin and made Sylvanas the War Queen, I was like, yes, you've answered all of my hopes and dreams.
Yeah, I mean, I've been a Sylvanas lover. I've been an appreciator of Sylvanas for a very, very long time. I was sad because I think 2.5 expansions ago they changed the voice actress, and that weirded me out for a long time. I had to get used to that. But aside from that,
right.
I've always loved Sylvanas. I used to just go hang out in Undercity because it was the cooler of the city to hang out in. So I could not be happier.
She's my jam. I mean, I like her look. I like the undead. She's my main in Heroes. So until they kind of butchered her a little bit, I haven't played in a while. But I remember they changed her kit, and she's not as powerful as she used to be. But no, Sylvanas is definitely is the thing. So yeah, when they made her, I mean, I hate trolls, and I can't tell you how pissed off I am that trolls are getting paladins in Battle for Azeroth.
That's so weird.
It's bad.
Hey, Mom.
Well, you know, like it's bad enough that cows are paladins. Mm-hmm. Like, I mean, part of me kind of wants to make a high mountain paladin because at least the high mountains have antlers and look cool.
Mm.
But yeah, no, I went to 110 and I think I topped off at a fairly high gear score, but they swung way too far the other way. Like Warlords, there was nothing to do. For somebody who played, you know, a little bit more than casually, so like 2 to 3 hours a day, you know, Warlords, you ran out of stuff quick. But then with Legion, like I'm definitely an Altor, so it got to a point where there was way too much to do. And if I focused on any of my other characters, I felt like I was letting my main down.
Mm-hmm.
And then if I only focused on my main, I got burnt out. You know what I mean?
It's way too much to do.
Yeah.
I agree. I got overwhelmed.
I mean, I tapped out. By the time I was at Suramar, I was ready for a break. So
every time I try to play, I'm like, I don't even know what to do. There's 8 bajillion things I need to do, and then I just back out, and I'm like, all right, cool.
Yeah, my quest log gets full, and I have to go away.
Yeah, I mean, again, so they swang. I mean, and that was what they did with Warlords. Like Warlords, it was like, hey, in Pandaland, everyone loved the farm, so let's, you know, have the farm on crack, and it was a little too much, so they toned it down, and now they're like, hey, let's give your weapons their own level. They went way too far, so maybe we'll tone it down a little bit. Plus, I think everyone gets bored with just one weapon.
I want it to be the Horde versus Alliance. I want the Aegir, I want the Rage, I want the Horde to hate the Alliance, I want the Alliance to hate the Horde, and Burning Crusade was my favorite expansion, so everything about this cinematic is telling me that that's where we're going, and I'm so tired of let's rise up against this common enemy.
Yeah,
we have to deal with it.
I mean, I stand behind, and I will always stand behind that. I mean, again, I love Sylvanas, and I'm glad that Sylvanas has the deep seething hatred for the Alliance, you know, because fuck humans. But, like, that's why I loved Garrosh. Like, I get that people hated Garrosh, and I get that Garrosh was Trump before Trump. So, like, he was the Trump of Azeroth, and that's fine. But, like, Garrosh was either, like, you're Horde or you're dead. And he told the pandas, like, when they came off their floating turtle, like, if you try and help any of your brethren that went Alliance, I will slaughter you. And he was not, like, there was nothing about it. And, like, he got shock corrupted and did his whole thing. So, and I still say Thrall cheated in that fight. Like, Garrosh shouldn't have lost.
My favorite, the novel that talks so war crimes in the novel when there's a whole court case. I read the novels because I'm a nerd.
That's okay. I read the
And
Gears of War novels.
I really loved it, and I one of the best parts is at the end, like he's being judged and he steps up and Crash like steps up and he's like, "Oh, I feel bad. I'm sorry." And you're like, "Oh my gosh, is he really going to apologize right now?" And of course, I listen to audiobooks because I've like it's easier for me. So I'm like super into it. I'm like, "Why is he apologizing?" And he was like, "That I didn't do this sooner and destroy everyone successfully." And I think I actually audibly cheered, like listening to
Yeah,
the book.
I remember.
Yeah,
I remember listening
like,
to
stand
that,
for something.
and then when like the Keepers of Time like got all screwed up, and yeah, no, that was a really good book. It was probably, other than the Arthas book, which I really wish that they would do an acted out audiobook version of the Arthas book, because it's really well written, and Arthas is my favorite. Like the Arthas Lich King combo. I have the Frostmourne hilt tattooed on my back. So I mean he's Anakin of World of Warcraft. You know, he is Anakin to Darth Vader. But I thought they made a mistake killing him. I mean, at least it got held out when they did. Like, I know that was where they originally wanted to go. Like, that's why if you go back and play Vanilla WoW, like there was all the linkings to the Frozen Throne and Northrend and everything, like in the Calling of, or in Strathloam. And when you went in there to like the Eastern Plaguelands, like all that was in there. And then obviously like you had Nax, which was, you know, Kel'Thuzad and like Arthas's like army and stuff. But then they ended up going Burning Crusade because I think they realized if they went Lich King right away, it would kill things, because that's what everyone wants. Like, we got to give them something else to love while they're still playing for Arthas. That way, when we kill Arthas, there's still more to love. Because I don't think anyone cared about like Mal'Ganis or the demons, or, I mean, sure, if you played Warcraft 2, you were familiar with Sargeras and all them, but you know what's funny is we had so many like WoW focused episodes.
So many
before you started playing.
So many.
And now that you've started playing, I have to go completely off the rails. Like, I have to just dig deeper and show the what's up with the chat room. Annalisa has followed you. So cool. Steve, welcome. With a laugh. Let's see here. Amy says, chased the pets obsessively when they were just non-combat. As soon as they had a purpose, I gave up.
Yeah, you know, it's funny you're talking about hunting one of them. The one that was really the time sink was the Unborn Valkyr. That was the first one. I'm pretty sure that I sunk a work week worth of time just hunting that stupid battle pet. But she's awesome. She's so cute.
Yeah, I went up to the parrot just because it was the only epic one. So yeah, and I don't know if it still is. I don't believe so. But like back for a while, like it was the only pet that dropped purple. So I was like, man, I want it. And it was like, again, it was super valuable on the auction house. And then obviously you got it right there in Booty Bay. So there was the cross faction auction house. So it worked out.
I made a lot of gold doing everything went account wide. I kind of cheesed the system. And I couldn't move. When I moved characters or faction changed, you can't take more than 50,000 gold with you. So I was always having this problem where I couldn't get my money on the server I wanted it on.
Right.
So I used that where I would literally just pick up the pets, cage them on the account that I wanted the money, and go sell them on the auction house.
I assume that's probably alleviated these days because you can just use the gold to buy tokens and then resell the tokens. Like, does that work to transfer gold across servers?
It sorta. I mean, really, you're just buying gold at that point. But you know, the funny thing is like, I love Blizzard. There are two things that I love more than all other fandoms, and it's Blizzard and Marvel. And so I couldn't be happier with the selection of things I have. But now the Battle.net launcher is like, all right, let me scroll through the 18 bajillion games I want to play right now.
Right.
And I don't have time for all of them. I used to have a 2-game policy, and I can't hold to that when there's WoW, PUBG, Monster Hunter World that I have not been playing for hours every day. Not at all.
I definitely know the feeling. Like, my Steam list is corrupted by summer sales.
His Steam list, yeah, you say that, you have no idea.
Yeah, it's and like 90% of it is 0.0 hours played. And then I haven't touched a video game in like almost a month and a half.
No, and that's the more amazing thing is that finally we've gotten outside.
I know. Well, you know, drones and
the drones have not hurt.
No, the drones have made going outside fun.
I mean, it took a few grand, but we got outside.
Right? Yeah. Anywhere I can use money to motivate me. But yeah, no, I mean, I'm in the same boat. I think I buy all the Blizzard collectors. Like I own all three versions or all three levels of what do you want to call it of StarCraft 2, like the digital deluxe edition. I don't play StarCraft, but I wanted all the stuff for all the other games. Yeah, but even like Diablo, like I mean, I'm a big hardcore Diablo player, and this season, like I think I just leveled the Demon Hunter up to like level 5. Nice, but like this is the first season where like. Maybe first or second season.
This is the first season where I've seen you not take to it like a religion.
Right, like I wasn't 70 the first night.
No, yeah. We haven't sat here and yelled at Hugo.
I mean, part of that is, I mean, no more Hugo. You don't really play it much, and our times don't usually line up.
I love Diablo, but...
Yeah, but I mean, more so times.
I love to go outside
and then Fuzzy has disappeared. And then the two people that I played with the most from West March Workshop, Whitney and... Leviathan went softcore because he's a bitch. And Whitney, same as you. It's like times don't line up.
Yeah.
So Diablo's no fun by yourself.
No.
Yeah, I really just play Diablo when I want to go and just smash the garbage out of something mindlessly. I go through there and I just play something, usually Witch Doctor, and I just run through and I just smash things and feel good about it, and then I go home with a bunch of loot. And then now Monster Hunter came out, and I bought a console used so that I could play it because it's not coming out on PC until the end of the year.
It's like August or September, right?
Well, the pre-order now says December, so I don't really know how I feel about that anymore.
Oh, does it? Yeah. I was going to wait, and then it was the last big game.
That was the last game I think I saw you play.
Monster Hunter,
yeah. Consistency, yeah.
Yeah, I picked it up, friend and fan of the stuff, Tony Sandoval, he was like, you got to get it. And I'm like, all right. And then, so I picked up an Xbox One X on launch, and like, I haven't really done much with it because most of the Xbox One X exclusives are also PC exclusives. And even with the X, my PC is more powerful. So I'm like, I'm just going to play it on PC.
That's exactly it. Everybody's like, oh, but then you don't have to worry about quality. And I'm like, dude, I just dropped like more money than I'm willing to admit on a computer like 3 months ago.
Right.
So I am completely fine with
no, and to be fair, it's definitely a cheaper alternative. Like, I mean, even with the Xbox One X at $500, it's still half the price of my video card. So I mean, it's great for a cheaper alternative. And then when you get something like Monster Hunter, Monster Hunter being, that timed exclusive. But no, it's fun. I like it. It's like you can tell that they didn't update things completely. Like Lock On feels very 90s.
Yeah, there were a couple clunky things in that game.
Yeah.
Or it doesn't explain things to you. It's like you're just supposed to magically figure out how certain things work in the game. Like, sorry, that's just not how that works.
It's very much... It's very much the Dark Souls of nerdy Pokemon games.
That's so true. Didn't I watch you look for some certain kind of mushroom for hours?
Basically.
What the fuck am I supposed to do?
I'm into it. No, my boyfriend is super into the Monster Hunter series, like, and all of his like friends are too. So it was pretty much. I think he took a week off work after it came out, and I've never seen him do that with anything. So
nice. I haven't done that for a game.
I've had him around to be like, explain it to me. How does this work? Hey, come help me with this thing.
Yeah. No, I mean, I like it. It's fun. I was never a Monster Hunter guy because I'm not really like a DS guy. And I think there was always like the portable game console things for a while. But no, I'm excited. We got Final Fantasy 15, the Windows edition coming out on the 4th. And I have it on PS4. And because of the 3 consoles, PS4 is the most difficult to stream from. I'm kind of excited to maybe play it. I go against what everybody else says. I like the 4 characters that were the characters in the game. I like the action combat system. I was excited as hell when I read that the Final Fantasy VII Remake was going to have the battle system from 15. Because, I've been playing Final Fantasy since Final Fantasy IV was released as Final Fantasy II on the Super Nintendo. So, like, I get it. But I don't have the patience for turn-based anymore. And it's not. I don't care what anybody says. Live action combat requires more skill than turn-based.
I've never been into turn-based at all.
I like turn-based in Civ.
Heroes, like way old school Heroes. So I love turn-based. Like I was super mad. I'm like, I want turn-based because I suck at anything that's not turn.
Well, like I want turn-based. Like I'm cool with turn-based in like my Civ games, or like if you were to take like Fallout. Fallout's good, and like old school Fallout, not like Bethesda first-person shooter Fallout. Like those are great turn-based wise, but if you're gonna give me like a Devil May Cry type camera view, give me live action combat. Now let's
I think I
see.
have like 300 hours of Civ 6. That game destroyed my life for about a month.
Of what game?
That was intense.
Civ
Civ
6.
6.
Oh, so, yeah.
Oh yeah, I was insane. I did not expect it to like grip me like that, but apparently it was exactly what I wanted at that time. And now it's perfect to flip into Monster Hunter because that game is so technical and specific and
Right.
all that. Now I'm just like, oh, I smash the monsters and I make cool armor.
I
And I
only
can smash other monsters.
I only played it so much because I was waiting for Sean Bean to die, and then I was upset that he didn't. No, I haven't touched the expansion though. I got it, and but I haven't. Again, I haven't touched a game. I think my big return to gaming is probably going to be Far Cry 5 at the end of the month because I'm
We're into
excited
that.
to kill a bunch of religious nut jobs in Montana. That makes me
And
happy.
just plain guys from Montana.
Exactly. So back to the chat. You guys are super active tonight. You guys totally kick ass. So the other thing I missed, back to WoW really quick. Yeah, Amy had said that her blood elf lived in Undercity forever. So
Sure, I
definitely
love
the
it.
Undercity
I
love.
love Undercity.
9 of
I'm
12.
worried. I'm worried that it's going to go away or change. It scares me.
I don't think it might change, but
They mess with
people who love Undercity love it for what it is. So I don't think they'll change it much. 9 of 12 says hello, says she loves you. The lantern thing in Dalaran. Oh, the pets, yeah. So she said, given inked, is Jen going to show her new tattoo? So
my tattoo I can't show on the camera, but I do have a link to the tattoo. I don't know if I kind of link in your channel. We'll find out. We'll find out.
you probably can't, but oh, what is it like here? If you put the link in Google Hangouts, there we go.
Magic is happening. Magic.
Copy
So that's the
link.
artist.
Oh wait, hold on a
I
second.
think
I
if you
can't.
still got
Can
all
I
the
transfer the
contract-
copy from my iMac to my? I've tried to move this cursor to that thing so
I saw
many
that.
times.
Yeah.
You just stick on PC. You could stick without the Mac and probably do okay.
No, I have both. My Mac is my production machine, and my PC is my
I know. I
gaming machine.
respect. I just.
What is
I've
your
never been-
is your Instagram? The Jen says.
That's my Instagram, but it's actually the artist who has the best shots of it. So that was his that I sent.
Oh, okay.
Which is jason.peterson.art. I'm going to give him a shout out because he is the man. I literally had my consult with him over a year ago.
So
it
if
was a
you
big
look
deal.
up, jason.peterson.art on Instagram,
It's
people.
Peterson with a D, so it's PEDERSEN dot ART. Like it should be like the third picture over. I'm the DNA tree on my leg.
Very cool.
It's a huge. It's bigger than any of my other tattoos by far. I was not prepared for what a difference that is when you sit for hours of tattooing time versus like an hour and a half.
Oh yeah, no,
or
it's
2 hours
it's
of
very
tattooing
different.
time.
My longest session was about 7 hours, and that was getting my left arm finished. And yeah, I had a gallon of orange juice there waiting for me because you.
No, I was like, breathe in through the nose, out through the mouth. This is worth it. You want this tattoo. Everything is fine.
Well, I was fine. I was fine getting it. I sat there with my iPad and just watched movies while I was getting it done. But I mean, but by the time I had my 7 hour session getting my arm finished, I had so many already. Like it was second nature. Like now I go in and I don't even think about it. Like
To be fair, I could have napped on the bottom half, but I don't know
Right.
what it was about going further up my leg, and I was like, okay, this is a whole different experience. And then after the line work was done, it was like, now we're doing color work. Nope, we're done.
Yeah.
Like this is ridiculous.
The only ones in recent memory, the only ones that have hurt, and they were still a while ago, but it was the two on the neck. I mean, totally worth it, but it basically felt like razor blade slicing the whole time.
No, I've never had a tattoo, but I mean, what is the pain comparable to? I really have no problem with needles at all.
It's different for everyone.
I really don't. I don't really feel pain.
It's
I have a very high pain tolerance, so I do pretty okay with tattoos, but like this was actually a little bit of a challenge for me.
I mean, it depends on where.
Okay, so I just had a tooth drilled with no Novocaine.
I have
above or below.
Oh, hey, let's put it that way. I have never had a tattoo that hurt more than my root canal.
No. Yeah, I think I'd be okay.
Yeah, like wrist and like soft spots suck. Bone sucks. That's why like on my sleeve, like my elbow isn't touched.
Yeah.
My wrist, I didn't even care about. Like my wrist, I don't even think I felt it. I just like sat there and like hung out with everybody. I can't even show it, but it's like I have my tattoo on my wrist, and that one was the easiest one. I could have hung out and just.
Right.
I did actually hang out, just BS with my friends the whole time while it was happening.
Yeah, no, they're fun. I miss them. Like I was saying earlier, I want to get my legs sleeved up. Hopefully this summer. The big thing for me is I've been talking about it for like 2 years. I really want to get rid of my dad bod, and actually, you know.
But the dad bod is in.
Apparently, but not for me. So like, I want to, you know, I want to resemble the physique of a man at least a little bit before I turn 40.
I've been going through a pretty big journey like that myself. So 2 years ago, I'm just showing off because I'm super stoked about it, but I weighed almost exactly 70 pounds heavier 2 years ago.
Nice.
Right now. So it's been a huge deal for me. But I tell everybody, if you feel like you want to get healthy, do it, because it's just you don't even realize how much of a difference it makes.
I mean, that's what it comes down to. I mean, I've gotten better at being comfortable with how I look, which I think is a big part of losing it. Because if you're just losing it to lose it, then it becomes more difficult.
As I get older, I care less.
See, it's funny. As I get older, I care more.
No, I don't care.
Me too. I'm like, oh.
Because as I get
it together now.
As I get older, like
the longer I'm alive, the less I give a fuck about anything.
You start adding more things up. Like I got 3 kids now. Like, you know, I got the new car, so the new car is nice.
My cats don't care about it.
The new car is in the win column. Depending on who you talk to, the 3 kids might not be in the win column. The geek gamer thing might not. So I gotta add more things to the win column. And
the geek gamer thing should be in the win column. That's in now. You're
in
vogue now.
The nice body is part of the win column for me.
Nobody ever sees you but me. I don't care what you look like, man.
Well, I do. Everybody on the internet sees me.
From the neck
Man,
up.
Can you imagine how bad the selfie addiction will get for me once I have like pecs?
Well, your first post ever, that was probably the worst thing ever. Oh, let's do sepia tones and
that was a Facebook app that did that.
Ugh.
That had to have been my first Facebook profile picture.
Oh man, that's what the app screams douchebag.
I don't like going back to
the rolled up button up with the dog. Yeah,
I'll take the natives over that any day.
Yeah, I think
for those of you who don't know, natives are specifically a selfie done by Nate.
I have
kind of a sky view.
I protect.
Yeah, there's a real certain art to it.
It's funny. I saw, like, you know how they have those like 90s kids thing, and it's like all, like, it's like, you know, like the FUBU or the Jinko, like it's all like the collection of like the checklist, right?
Yeah.
And one of the like
the king of the mall or whatever.
Yeah, those things, right? Well, there was
explain to somebody what a Jinko jean was the other day. Like I was like, what? Wait, what?
I'm so bummed they're going away again. I was so excited they came back, and I almost bought myself a pair, but I couldn't justify like the $90.
I never knew you wearing Jinkos. I knew you wearing caffeine pants, I think, and safety glasses.
Safety glasses.
I have a caffeine skirt, I think.
I miss the tank pants, man. Like the big, like the cannon legs. I used to rollerblade in those, and people used to wonder how I was able to do it.
Yeah, that was one of the first things we ever did together.
I used to rollerblade. That already takes.
What do they call those now? Fruit boots.
Fruit booters.
Fruit booter.
The fruit booter.
Yeah. But I used to love the Jinkos, man.
I never had Jinkos. I had Levi's wide leg, which were not the same.
And then
I used to have anything that my mom didn't hem up for me. I'd like try to like keep it away from her because she'd hem it up. She'd be like, well, because it rubs on the ground, and then she'd hem it too much. So I'd have like ankle pants. And
oh my god,
rubbing it on the ground is part of the allure. You have to have that fray there,
especially with Jinkos. Wait, hold on. Nate's problem is that every time his kids age a year, so does he. So he's aging 4 years, 3 years, 3 years.
Oh, like dog years,
my own year plus the 3 years for the kids. Rollerblading equals D-bag points. No, I could actually rollerblade. So
I will vouch for that. He could rollerblade.
Yeah, I wasn't.
He would sketch on my bike.
Yeah, I'd sketch on the bike. I used to go to the skate park on Marginal Way before they got rid of it. Like, I could actually rollerblade. That was back when I had balls and didn't realize I could die by breaking.
You don't have any balls anymore?
No. No, they have been thoroughly removed.
It's weird.
Either that or they're just highly...
I never had balls.
Your balls have been removed? They've gone away?
Either that or they're just highly inactive.
So back to being older and not giving a fuck. As I get older, my balls get longer and lower. I don't...
It's like chewing gum? Like,
it's like hot silly putty.
In the hot summer sun?
Warm silly putty, that's all I've got down there. Gross. But your balls are just gone, huh?
Metaphorically.
Somebody gnaw them off?
my ability to do things that could harm me has gone away.
Well, self-preservation, that's always for the best. I've never broken a bone, so, you know,
Me neither.
I understand that.
And it's weird. Like everybody in my family, they've all broken bones all over the place, and I've never broken a bone once, and it's weird. And I'm
Tell
like,
them to
"What's wrong with
smarten
me?"
the fuck up.
I have broken. I've had my nose broken with a skateboard by Alex Walker
Douchebag.
down in that corner.
What a douche.
He is a douchebag.
Did he just like wham right across the bridge or what?
So something was said by me
Of course.
that
That's not
probably
surprising.
shouldn't have been said by
yeah.
me that I'm not going to repeat on Twitch for the sake of the studio account getting banned. And he was not happy that I said it. And
So you get your nose
and
broken
put
with
a,
a skateboard.
put a skateboard across my face.
Okay.
I'll tell you off air.
That's about right.
Yeah. So and then
I don't think I've ever lost one of those situations. I always come out on the top.
I wasn't a fighter.
I'm not a fighter either, but sometimes
I only
you just
fought
see
twice.
red, man.
Like it always worked
I
because
won both of them.
I was always taller and bigger than everyone. So,
You can ask your buddy there, your old butler.
oh, Groovy? Yeah.
You can ask him.
I think a lot of people kicked his ass.
It's a
You can
boy
ask
thing.
Chris
No,
Brown.
it's not-
You can
that's
ask a
not
few.
true.
Yeah. A lot of people should kick Chris Brown's ass. If they haven't, they should. They definitely should. So anyway, yeah. This went off the rails. Speaking of gaming, so yeah, you do have your Twitch channel as well. So it's twitch.tv/thegenplays.
Oh, are we gonna go to Marvel now? Because I want
We
to talk
can
about
hit
Marvel.
Marvel too. We
You
can do
don't.
that.
You don't want to. You don't like it.
We can divert from Twitch and go Marvel.
I mean,
That's
if we're
fine.
gonna talk about gaming for half an hour, we should at least spend 20 minutes
I
talking
wanted
about
to-
Marvel.
I wanted to let her at least promote her Twitch channel and talk about what.
No, totally.
So let's
right
So what
now
do you
I'm
play for
actually-
games? What do you do? Talk about it.
So mostly, as far as games, usually when I'm on Twitch, I'm just bullshitting, which is whatever I feel like playing with whoever I'm hanging out with. So these days it's PUBG, Overwatch. I don't stream Hearthstone because that's just an emotional ordeal because people in chat are like, "Ugh, you could have used 2 points over there with that card," and I don't want to deal with that. Like I just want to play my game and interact with chat in a happy way. So I don't play that, but I do play it, but I don't play it on stream. And then lately I've been going through the Walking Dead Telltale series, which I never played. So I've been doing the first season right now, and actually I think next week I had to take a break from it for a hot minute. But now I'm gonna be actually picking that back up starting next weekend. I usually do it on like Saturday evenings. I try to get on there and go through, and people can watch me make stupid decisions and get mad when
Nice.
people die that I don't want to have die, or
Right.
don't die when I want them to die, or
I fell out of The Walking Dead, so I don't really care.
Is that back now?
It is
yeah,
back
yeah.
now.
I haven't watched the last
Oh, can I?
episode, and
Oh, did you
you-
get spoiled by it? Do you know what happened?
Here's the thing. I kind of know some of what's going to happen because there's really only certain ways that things can
Because
go. So I'm not spoiled right now.
Okay, because something
But-
happened and somebody's gone, and it makes me really want to watch the show again.
Yeah, but we
There's
knew about
certain
that
things
before.
that we knew
I
about
didn't.
from the
That's
last
been a huge controversy
Oh,
since the season.
Plug. Pay attention to Jackie Hearn's Twitter. I'm going to be jumping on the Walking Drunks periodically with them. talking
Okay.
about
Nice.
Walking Dead. So,
Jackie is awesome. She
Yeah.
starts off every season of this podcast. She's always episode for the
I
last
know. I love
for
her.
the last 3 seasons, I think.
Yep.
She was the first guest of the season. So no, Jackie's cool. Yeah, and Diamond Club is absolutely awesome. Jerry's been on a couple times.
Yep.
So we're trying to get Brian, but Brian is crazy, stupid busy.
Yeah.
So
Out of control busy. But
yeah.
yeah, no, that's been a super fun game to kind of get back and dive into. And it's completely unrelated to I mean, I read the comics, which doesn't even relate to the show anymore, which doesn't even relate to the game.
No, when
It's
are
just
the
all over
Whisperers going to show up? That's what I want to know.
I know, that's what I was saying. I was just talking about that with somebody, actually.
See, my thing
Most
with-
people have no idea.
my thing with The
walk.
Walking
No.
Dead is like I don't care about the good guys because they're boring. I like bad guys. So I loved Shane. Shane was great, and then they killed him.
Oh, he's a great character.
And the
He
thing
did a good
is like
job.
Shane wasn't a bad guy. Shane was the realist. Shane did what needed to be done to save the group.
Well, Shane was a victim of circumstance, you know,
Man,
and
that
then he
actor-
couldn't wrap his mind
man,
around the fact that he had another man's wife and then lost her back to the husband that was supposed to be dead.
Right. Yeah. I mean,
Daredevil, so good, worth the watch. I hated the first 2 episodes, and I waited to watch it, and I was so pissed that I did.
Daredevil?
But yeah, but the Punisher, that he is insane. He's like the perfect actor for that. He
You know what that
nails
is?
that role.
It just occurred to me like 2 days ago that whole season, that first season, it's Taxi Driver minus the 12-year-old prostitute.
kind of.
It's literally Taxi
I've
Driver.
never seen it.
It's that.
Okay.
I mean, it's
I
But
trust you.
Daredevil has Kingpin, and I'm sorry, that is just it's. I love the villains too. Like that's where I'm at.
Yeah, what's his? I can't think of his name, but the guy who? I mean, he's not actually. Have they called? They haven't called him Kingpin yet, though, right?
No, they haven't called him Kingpin, but he's Kingpin.
Yeah, I mean, he's
gotta be
Kingpin. Yeah, it's the same way,
Yeah.
like in Gotham, like Jerome is Jerome, but we all know he's the Joker.
right. Well, if you're referring to Kingpin, like in Daredevil, like yeah, he's Kingpin.
He's Kingpin. They just haven't called him Kingpin.
No, but they've called him Kingpin's name, so
Right.
he's Kingpin.
Well,
Yeah.
okay.
And I guess that's true. They've never actually called him Kingpin in the show,
Yeah.
huh?
No.
No.
But as for villains, I think we should talk about Black Panther because that's Killmonger of
Great
all
villain.
people, the
Oh.
best villain so far.
Yeah.
A
No.
villain you
Oh,
actually
God.
care about.
Killmonger was great. Michael B. Jordan did a phenomenal job in that role.
I said this
So-
before. I'm going to say it again. I feel so bad for that guy. Like you have to be Michael B. Jordan forever because Michael Jordan already has your name. So like that sucks.
Yeah, but I guess it depends on your community, right? Like it's kind of like I mean, I don't know. The example that's coming to mind is okay. So you're Tadpool. You listen to Scott's stuff, right? So occasionally he'll reference his friend Will Smith, and like, look, we
Will
know
Smith.
you're not cool enough to know Will Smith. When you say
How do you
Will
know?
Smith,
Maybe you don't know Scott.
when
No.
you say Will Smith, we know you're talking about your developer friend.
the
You
whole
don't
time Will he's like hanging out with actual
right,
actor
right.
Will Smith.
But like
None of us have any
you
clue.
don't have to qualify it every time. So like if you say Michael Jordan, I don't give a fuck about basketball,
used to-
and it's not
I used to work-
1990. Like I know
I used
you're
to work
talking
at a
about the
Fry's
actor.
with a Dustin Hoffman, who we used to make so much fun of him because of the Office Space Michael Bolton situation. That we
yeah.
used to be like, yeah, Dustin Hoffman, you did really good. That was a good job in that movie. He'd be like, shut up and stop the
Jeez.
software.
I loved you in The Graduate, Michael Jordan.
Yeah,
So, Michael B. Jordan, my first interaction with him, my first introduction with him was Parenthood.
Okay.
You ever seen Parenthood?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like a, I don't know, your podcast has a faux feminist agenda. It's a girlfriend show. You watch
To
it with
be
your
fair,
girlfriend.
I normally hate mushy bullshit like that, but that one actually got me. I actually watched the whole thing. I loved it.
It was a good show. I mean,
It had real characters. It was
Right.
solid. You could get with the character, like you could feel for them in the way you're supposed to feel.
No,
for
you could.
characters.
It was a relatable show, and for Nate, who
development.
doesn't know,
never
Michael B.
happened.
Jordan was the adult black boyfriend of one of the white teen girls.
Oh
They
yeah.
dated. It was a big deal.
Did she have a racist father?
No, she had Coach for a dad. No, Coach was her grandfather.
Coach was the
Lorelai from
grandfather,
Gilmore
not the
Girls
dad.
was it Lorelai that was her mother? No, that was like the goth girl's mother.
Lorelai was the goth girl and the son's mother.
Yeah, yeah.
This is like so
I have
ridiculous.
no
The
idea what-
autistic son, right?
I have no idea what any
No,
of this is.
that-
no.
the-
She didn't have the
older
autistic
brother-
son. Yeah.
The older
yeah.
brother had the autistic son, and his older daughter was the one that had Michael B. Jordan's character as her boyfriend.
Right. And the
she
mother.
like went off to college. She was like
Yeah,
super
yeah.
smart, so it was like, whoa, what's this?
It was a good show. You should watch it. I recommend it.
Like I totally
actually
dig
tried
like
a
the I don't know. I think if you were to like, it was a show, not a movie.
No, it was a show.
Okay.
It was a show.
Yeah.
It was like an ABC
It was an
primetime
ABC show. Yeah.
Oh,
What?
yeah, I don't know.
Okay, so back to Marvel then. So are you a
Wait,
Marvel?
Marvel.
Are you a Marvel
Michael
Cinematic
Jordan's
Universe
awesome.
fan, or are you a Marvel Comics fan, or both?
Was this for me?
Funny,
Yeah.
I'm actually both. I can't take it off the wall right now, but no, I'm
I love it. So
legitimately
good.
love
Oh,
the comics
that's
and
fucking
also love the
horrible.
MCU. I love them each in different ways, and like they serve different roles for me. I also was one of those kids that watched the X-Men animated series and thought it was the coolest freaking thing ever.
It was the coolest freaking thing ever.
And Rogue was one of my favorite characters, so the Gambit and Rogue
Mm-hmm.
like thing is great.
Yeah,
which is
I'm
why
on
reading
board
all
with
the
that. I
comics right
totally
now.
agree.
So yeah, I'm kind of all over the place, but all things Marvel pretty much.
X-Men the animated series was defining for me as a child. And I agree with you, the Rogue and Gambit thing, just Rogue and Gambit in general were my two favorite characters in that show.
Have
So-
you know about the new series that just came out in January, right?
No.
The Rogue, they're doing like a limited edition series called Rogue and Gambit, and it's literally them on a mission. Kitty Pryde's like, I need to plan for my wedding, so you guys need to go on this mission and pretend to be a couple at this retreat and like get this intel. So it's them like dealing with each other. And at one point, there's I hate to spoil, but I have to say it. where she's just like, whatever. He's like, well, whatever. You kissed Deadpool, and I'm like, oh, I just died. Like the whole thing is great.
So does this follow the continuity of them like 2010 ish, maybe a little earlier, where they were actually like together and then they weren't? I mean, I know that's ongoing, but like, is that continuity there?
It's actually based on where everything's at right now, so it's super weird because, well, I guess so. I guess it has to be. All I know is that you've got Colossus and Kitty Pryde are now getting their "We're About to Get Married" series, which comes out in a couple weeks, which is also super weird, in my opinion. But whatever, I'll probably read it.
What can you do? Is this?
I'll probably read it.
Have you read like X-Men Blue and Gold, the newer ones?
So I haven't. I've spent a lot of my time kind of going back and rereading some things that I haven't read in a long time, mostly because I didn't realize how different some of those worlds are as an adult. So I've been kind of going back and reading things again, kind of through that different lens. Like in particular, I've been rereading, which is not that old. It's only like what, maybe 3 or 4 years old. The Vision, where he's got his his robot wife, his robot kid.
The last I saw from the
weird.
Vision, it was after House of M, and when she said no more mutants and they got divorced, that was like my last interaction with the Vision. A lot of my comics from when I was a kid, like late 80s, early 90s, I gave them to a 16-year-old a few years ago, all bagged and boarded, and I never saw them again. My mistake. But everything after that I've read digitally, so I think, in my opinion, like 2010 and before is when it was great, and everything after that, not as good. So like you had like X-Force 2010 with Deadpool and Wolverine. So good. Such a good comic. Guardians was one of my favorite comics way before the movies ever came out.
It's so good. I was so excited when that trailer dropped. It was funny because there's only a couple times where I've seen a trailer and I've seen that first half second of a trailer and been like, oh my god, I know what this is. And it was literally Guardians of the Galaxy, Sin City, and Wanted. And I was like, all right, cool. Or not Wanted. Yeah, well, I know definitely Sin City and Guardians of the Galaxy. Those are ones like for sure.
Right.
I knew it right away.
What's interesting?
Watchmen. Why did I say Wanted?
Because it was better than Watchmen.
I'm like, what is happening?
How do you feel about Watchmen being?
That graphic novel is so good.
How do you feel about Watchmen now, though, where they're integrated into the DCU?
That's weird. It's just weird.
The only thing I think I like about that is Rorschach being in the DC.
I just love Rorschach.
I'm not really a big DC guy. I'm more of like I'm a Constantine guy. I love Constantine, but outside of that, there's Lobo, I guess. There's not a lot of DC characters that I really love. I find them to be shitty.
I'm trying to think.
I think Marvel does, and we've had. I know we've talked about this before, but Marvel does the heroes better.
Villains.
Yeah.
DC does the villains better.
That's why they're better.
Well, no, see, I say DC does the villains better. Marvel does not have a I don't care how good Killmonger was on screen. Marvel does not have a villain that stands toe to toe with the Joker.
Okay, that's fair.
And then
that's really the thing about DC is that they have the Joker.
But Batman is like the best part of DC in my opinion.
Well, yeah, I mean the Batman. Like, I don't give a fuck about Superman. Superman's boring. I mean Henry Cavill makes him not so bad, but the writing is atrocious, and Martha can fuck off. But yeah, but like it's
Batman and the Superman were having a beer. Batman says, "What'd you do today, Soup?" Says, "Well, I was flying across the city and I saw the Invisible Woman." Oh, yeah? Or Wonder Woman. Yeah? Yeah, she was out sunning herself. Really? Nude. Yeah. I forgot the end of the joke. I'm drunk. It's been like 15 years since I heard that joke.
It has something to do with the invisible plane, right?
I think it has
something to do with the Invisible Man. Ah, that's it. I got it. So he flew over and he saw he saw Wonder Woman sunning herself nude, right? Right, that's Jackie Martin. You remember?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he goes down. And he's like, what the hell? I'll give her a shot. So he flies down and tries to put it to her. Batman says, "Oh, were you surprised? Was she surprised?" And he says, "Oh, I'm not as surprised as the Invisible Man." You got to follow me on that joke because I'm a little bit drunk at this point.
No, I remember once you said
Nate knows what I'm talking about.
Once you said Jack, I remembered the joke. So. But yeah, no, and Steve in the chat, Batman has the best villains. Joker, Scarecrow. I mean, Ra's al Ghul he's kind of boring, but
is so good.
like that's what makes. That's what
I feel so bad for him against
that's
that
what
guy.
makes the show so good. Like Gotham,
Yeah,
and
because you focus on the villains.
yeah, exactly. Because I mean, Batman's kind of becoming Batman slowly. Like now he's kind
Have
of
you
a
seen-
rebellious, angsty teenager. But I have not seen last night's episode, but I'm caught up to that point.
No, I'm not. I'm not caught up on that at all. But the Killing Joke, if I tell everybody, if you haven't seen it, watch it. It's worth it. So
I
worth
went and saw it in
So
the
good.
theater.
Yeah, wasn't it?
Oh,
Now I didn't
so
have an
good.
opinion because I've never read the
So
novel,
I read the
but
book.
wasn't it
What did you think about the extra hour they added on in the beginning?
like the stupid Batgirl stuff?
The Oracle stuff, yeah.
You know what? I really loved it. I loved it a lot, and it was really. I was surprised by how I actually got done with the whole thing and was like, "Can I have more, please? Like right now? Like I need more immediately."
Like, wasn't there a huge controversy about how like she gave herself to Batman? Like what? Like didn't people like complain that like took away from the strength of her character?
You know what? I get so tired of that shit where it's just like, okay, she did it. That means agency. That means power. That means control. That means that's her choice. The end. This is an argument anymore.
You know what I really enjoyed was Justice League Dark. That's much more on my alley.
Is that like the porno parody of Justice
I
League?
wish. It's Constantine, Swamp Thing, Zatanna.
So it's
all,
like
all of your
altern-
side like mystical characters.
So it's like what they're gonna do with Avengers when we get into like phase
More than
18
likely.
of the
More than
MCU.
likely,
yeah.
yeah.
I just want. I mean, I'm just excited for Infinity War. I'm on my watching regimen right now.
Oh, it got moved up a
I'm
month.
glad you. So yeah, that's what I was gonna say really quick because you were talking about Guardians and then obviously we talked about Black Panther. It's been interesting with me because of the two Marvel movies I have enjoyed most are the two that I thought were going to be complete garbage going into them. Now, of all the ones that I thought were going to be cool or at least moderately entertaining, like Civil War, I walked out of completely unimpressed.
I walked out of Civil War kind of pissed.
I still haven't seen Winter Soldier.
You really should see Winter
I didn't
Soldier.
mind.
You need to watch Winter Soldier.
I didn't mind the first Captain America movie. I thought it was okay.
I've never revisited
But
that. I watched
now
it once.
see now again Iron Man 3, the one that everybody hates,
Oh, by the way,
is
I
my
love it.
is
I
my
love Iron
favorite
Man
of the
3.
three
I
because
hate it.
I have kind of a man crush on Robert Downey Jr.
Yeah, and he gets all the FaceTime.
In Iron Man 3, you see more RDJ than you do Iron Man, and I like the whole like
Yeah.
Tony Stark coming to reality moment. But anyway, so back to my point. I had, as everyone who listens knows, I had zero desire to see Black Panther up until the day before, and I thought Guardians of the Galaxy looked fucking stupid. So
Guardians of the Galaxy is amazing.
Guardians. Now
I knew it was going to be amazing
because I thought it
from
looked
reading the
stupid.
comics.
Like I don't.
It was
really-
my adult Star Wars. I can't tell you how much that movie impressed
like you've
me.
got Vin Diesel. Oh, did you see what James Gunn said? That Baby Groot is actually Groot's son, and Groot proper is dead.
Yeah, I saw that.
I don't know how I feel about that. I'm just not going to talk about it. We're not going to talk about it.
But anyway, so I saw Guardians accidentally. It was playing on the plane on my way to BlizzCon in 2014, and I saw it, and I'm like, wow, that was really good, and I love it. And it's my favorite. Like two, like other than the opening scene with Groot, like two, I felt was a little bit of a letdown.
Two was a little bit of a letdown, but still.
But
I don't know, man.
But the opening
That
scene
funeral
with
scene
Groot was
Killed me.
Yeah, it was-
some of
it
the
was-
best stuff.
The funeral scene was very tear-jerking.
Oh yeah, the end.
I bawled I actively bawled. I never
Yeah.
do that. Like I cry a little bit. Like, oh, okay, that's sad. Or when I'm at home, I might cry. But I was actively at the theater. Like I
Yeah,
can't make
no,
it
Yeah.
stop.
I was pretty emotional in the theater. I saw it, and part of it was when I saw it for the first time. I saw it in the theater with my daughter, so
my
there was
God.
the whole like father moment, and yeah,
Totally.
no, and then Michael Rourke is
Rooker.
Rooker or whatever. I was combining him with Mickey Rourke. Michael Rooker is awesome.
We're
Anyway.
not talking about Whiplash here.
No, he was great in like his character in Walking Dead was awesome. So and I mean what else does he do? But in those two things he's great. But anyway,
Merle is such a
Chocolate-covered
great
pretzel?
character. That guy is so good.
Mallrats? No? Nobody?
Merle is the character you needed to just be the. I love Merle. That character is.
Well, he's a reason for Daryl to be what he is.
That's right.
Right.
And he's part of
I'm
Daryl's origin
amazed
story,
he's still
for sure.
around. I mean, I guess he kind of
Well,
become-
he's the made-up character for the show that everybody loves.
Yeah,
he has
exactly.
to be.
And I
Right.
love the shit out of that.
I mean, he's
character.
overshadowed
Love it.
everybody, so...
right.
It's 'cause he's a freaking badass. Like, he's
Yeah,
awesome.
and
I love
and
Carol, though, too.
and as an actor, he's good. And
Let's not forget Boondock Saints, because
Yeah, no,
that's
no.
really the only reason.
yeah, that's what kind of got him his
That's
thing.
true.
But yeah, Guardians and the latest Thor movie, Ragnarok, excellent.
See, now I hear
So
that's
good.
I hear
love
that's
Ragnarok.
Guardians with Thor.
It was so good, man.
Everybody
Yeah.
hated it because they were like, oh, it's so like fun and happy and silly, and I'm like, yeah, it's a freaking comic book movie.
Yeah.
Stop trying
Yeah.
to put all this shit into my comic book movie.
And then
I
I hear
mean, as
Jeff
much as I love
Goldblum was
Guardians-
amazing.
He was. As
Yeah.
much as I love Guardians, I would almost say the Ragnarok was. I liked it almost more.
I
It
think
was
Love it.
so fucking good.
I don't think it would be too argued based off what I've heard. I haven't seen Thor, but based off what I've heard and based off my opinion of Guardians 2, I don't think it would be too far fetched to say Ragnarok was better than Guardians 2.
Oh, it blows Guardians 2 out of the water.
Oh, absolutely. It's
Yeah.
absolutely there. What's crazy is that I did not expect. Like, I was excited about Black Panther because it's MCU. I'm in. I wanted to see if the Soul Stone would come up. I knew. Well, spoilers. I don't know. Are people pissed about that? I don't know. But I expected
It's been
it.
2 weeks.
I knew. I felt like it wasn't gonna be there, and then of course it wasn't, which made me happy.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been pissed off because I haven't gotten the Wasp. I had to wait 3 extra years for it because the actress got pregnant. So that sucks. So I get that later in the year. So I've been like, whatever, Black Panther, that's the thing that's going to happen before everything else I care about. And I walked out of it going, this might be my 3rd favorite MCU movie. Like, this might
It was
actually
super
be
good.
my 3rd favorite
Super good.
Yeah, see, I had no desire to see
Whoa.
it. I hadn't even seen the trailer. I just didn't care. I thought he was annoying in Civil War. I just thought his I have no knowledge of I had no knowledge of the character, and his accent really bothered me.
What would be surprising
So-
for me is for his little sister to take up the mantle of Iron Man.
Totally.
Since-
That's exactly where I'm at because he needs to.
Right, the gadget girl?
Yeah, because in the comic world, that's more or less what's happened. I can't remember her actual name in the comics, but
Ironheart.
is that what it is?
Well, that's the one thing that somebody brought up. It's actually Linda, one of our co-hosts, brought up. We did our last episode of Geek Girls. Go listen to us talk about Black Panther for the whole show.
Okay.
But Ironheart came up as potentially she might be Ironheart, or essentially take that role.
That would be great. I mean, that's really in the MCU. She's the true successor there.
So Austin made a comment because we saw it with Austin. He had made the comment because she said, "Yeah, you're not the first." What is she like? You're not the first white guy we've had to fix, right?
The moment she said it, I was like, oh, fuck. I was so excited.
See now, again. I haven't seen Winter Soldier.
You thought of Bucky and
I knew it immediately.
really.
He's
So
like
obviously
another
it was-
broken white boy, and I was like,
See now,
please.
Austin.
I was thinking Logan, man.
Yeah, see, that's what Austin said, and I'm like,
Nope.
and yeah, like I had no connection at all. I'm like,
Right.
obviously they're pointing
I
to
was
somebody,
so-
but apparently that was Bucky.
Yeah, I so
So-
wanted it to be Wolverine. Like, okay,
I
so
would've
maybe we
too,
can
but-
negate Madripoor and just have him go to Wakanda, and then it'll make sense.
I wanna see him. I want to see him in the Stinger or something.
Yeah.
As much as I fucking hate Stingers,
Fuck all that. What I want is
Stingers.
an open world
But-
game where you're Wolverine as Patch in Madripoor. That's what I want.
But wait, did you see Logan?
Yeah.
That movie was incredible, and I think everybody minimizes how amazing that movie was.
I can't get through it.
You can't get
I
through
love
Logan.
it.
I own
It was
it.
intense.
I own it in 4K, and I've tried and I've tried and I've tried, and I
can't
just
fall
get
I
bored.
I was lukewarm on it, man.
I
Like,
get bored.
after all those other Wolverine movies that were such a letdown, and all the X-Men movies that were such a letdown, you
That's
finally
true.
get a good
I can feel
Wolverine
that.
movie, and it's at the end of his life. Like, it's fucking Wolverine. Don't. And then there's like a whole like Age of Apocalypse dystopian thing going on there, and House of M thing where the mutants are dying off. Like, I really need X-Men to be rebooted badly because that's my
Well, I just
favorite
want
franchise.
Storm-
Now
I
that
want
Disney
Storm
owns
back,
them,
and I want her to be a badass like she was in the show. Like,
Yeah, and now
not
she
the
can-
soft
now
pansy,
she
like,
can fucking hook up
everybody
with-
be happy.
Storm can actually come back and be T'Challa's wife like she's supposed to be now. Like, why can't
Yep.
we have that?
Got it.
right?
So good. I love and that's my childhood like animated series obsession.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know,
Oh, man.
but I don't know. Yeah, for me, like I didn't care. And then going into it, you knew that Xavier was gonna die. You knew Logan was gonna die. You knew the girl was X-23. Like you knew everything. At least for me, I knew everything
Right.
going into it. So I
The
didn't.
best thing
care.
about that movie was Patrick Stewart.
right
for me.
And like I didn't see it in the theaters. And by the time I got around to seeing Logan, so obviously Logan was cool, right? And I think Logan was post Deadpool, right? Yeah. So like,
It was.
so if and maybe this isn't fair, right? But so Logan was like pushing the hard R because Deadpool, like
Yeah,
if
and
Logan
Logan even got a Deadpool intro.
if Logan
so-
came out before Deadpool, I might have cared more. But it was the adult.
So you're saying that since Deadpool came out first, the shock value for you was gone?
It's not so much that the shock value
Because
was...
they were two totally different movies.
It's not so much that the shock
Totally
value
different
was
movies.
gone. Yeah, because one was comical, one was serious. I
Right.
get that. But as far as like trying to be the adult, overly violent, overly vulgar movie, one with a comical tone, one with a serious tone, but still, that
Well,
overlay,
what I need is
Deadpool did it better.
What I need is a blend of that in Deadpool 2, where you have Cable now.
I think you're gonna
Cable
see
is
that.
my favorite
Cable,
character.
so stoked. Dude,
My favorite character.
I'm not my favorite, but like I could say that they're all my favorites. They're just like my favorites. It's like you're not really supposed to pick a favorite kid, but
Right,
you do
right,
kind
right.
of. Like, kind of. It's kind of like that, and Cable's definitely up there for me. So I'm pretty
Yeah.
ecstatic.
I really hope that it's a blend of the two movies where you have the dramatic
Look
and
at
the
Domino,
comedic
too.
together. Domino, well, right. That's what I'm alluding to. Is like Cable is my favorite character, so we're gonna get what is essentially Cable and Deadpool now. So I really need X-Force, and I really need Wolverine to be in X-Force, and I need that to be a serious movie.
Do you think that we'll get the whole... I mean, you've explained it to me briefly before, but the whole thing where like Cable and Deadpool merge so Deadpool gets his teleport power?
Body slide by one?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Because I would love to see it, like what they would do
Cool.
between Ryan Reynolds and the
Well,
fact
what you're
that
gonna get is like the Nightcrawler effect, but with Deadpool.
right,
It's gonna be awesome.
So the fact that you've got Ryan Reynolds, the fact that it's rated R, and the fact that now with Disney owning Fox, now you've got Disney's money behind that movie.
Right.
They could do some pretty awesome things with Body Slide.
Yeah, it would be amazing.
Yeah.
I'm
I
sure
really
that
hope-
by the end of the movie we'll have that at least once.
Or maybe again.
Maybe even as a stinger for the
Fuck
next movie.
the
but-
stingers. Stop
It's
making me
hard.
watch the credits.
I
Just
love
give it to me
stingers.
at the
I
end
love
of the movie.
stingers. It's a tradition.
Then what the great part about it was is that all the assholes that don't get it leave the theater, and I get to sit there.
I know,
No,
it's so
no,
fun to
no,
watch.
see,
I
here's-
totally
see,
agree with that.
no,
I love
here's,
to watch
here's
those
the thing.
stupid fucks
Here's the
walk
thing.
off.
No,
Get to
see,
watch
and this is partly why I hate them. Because I don't want to sit and watch them. Because I don't give a shit. I'll look them up on YouTube when I
You're
get
crazy,
home.
man.
I'll look
But
them
no,
up
at
on.
the same time, they've been doing a lot to make the credits entertaining, knowing that people are staying.
There's
for
still
the stinger.
there's still credits. I don't care. I don't care.
Okay, that's fair.
So like I will leave and I will watch them on YouTube because that's all. Or even better, I will just read about what happens, or I'll just read the headline and it says if there's no valid storyline information, I don't care. But the problem is now I can't leave for that reason because everybody else in the theater goes, "Oh, look at the idiot that doesn't realize there's stingers." No, I realize they're there. I just think it is a cheap.
I'm gonna crush
it is-
you right now.
It
'Cause
is.
here's the problem.
It is a cheap,
I'm the
low blow
person-
way to get people to watch the credits.
I watch the credits on video games when I'm done with
Oh
the video
my
game.
god.
Because
Okay.
there's all the people that worked really hard, and I want to know who brought the bagels.
Now
for them.
hold
I
on.
gotta
Now
know.
Annalisa in the chat gave the same argument. Dude, the credits are there to give the background people a shout out for their work. And I agree with you. You're not wrong. But I want the honest truth. Whether you're there with friends or there by yourself, the second that you see like the title come up so you know the credits are next, who doesn't pull out their phone? Or talk to, like, are you sitting there and reading the names of every single person that scrolls by? Because
I
I'm
do,
not.
I make jokes. I make jokes about it. I'll be like, "Oh, I'm glad that they
Because
brought
you
the
know,
bagels."
because you know what? Because of modern technology, if I hear a song in the credits that I want or that I like that I don't know, I don't even have to wait for the song credits anymore. I just open Shazam, and it listens
That
to the
is
song
fair.
for me. Like there's no reason. Like,
It's just a tradition. I think
I
there's some things where we
guess.
just like it for tradition's sake. Like that's really it.
but
It's just a
I'm
tradition
but I
now.
am also very much a like one of my favorite features that streaming services have added now is skip the intro. Like
Well,
I'm
I do like that.
I'm
because
very
if I'm
much-
binge watching something. I
I'm
don't
very
even
much
see
a
the
skip the
intro.
intro, skip the credits. Just give me my content.
Sure.
You know, I respect that people want to stay and watch the credits. People like you, people like Annalisa, and I'm sure there are plenty of other people. And as a content producer in a very small scale, like I appreciate that people care that I make stuff, right? So that's cool, and I appreciate that. So, but don't force me to watch it. Like there are going to be people who want to watch the credits. There are going to be people who want to recognize names. Maybe somebody has a friend who worked on something, right? Like
Yeah, like I had a friend that did art on Hancock, and I was super excited to be like, "Oh, I want to see his name in the credits."
right,
Like, I was super
exactly.
stoked.
So and things like that are cool. But don't kid yourself in thinking that those of us that don't care about the credits are reading them because you put stingers there.
I'm
Like,
not reading the credits.
I'm-
The credits are there as an interim between the movie and the stinger for you to reflect on the movie real quick.
and here's the thing.
See, that's the other thing too. I don't talk to anybody right afterwards. That's like I've learned that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take a moment to silently and individually reflect on the film that you've just seen.
No, I have to
Also-
talk to my buddy next to me about the movie I just watched, because if I talk to him during the movie, the idiot behind me bitches. So
Well, the last
be
time we went to
fair-
see a movie, the people behind you were
the
terrible.
loud fucks behind us. My
I had an asshole
God.
eating a salad next to me at Black Panther.
Oh,
so, like,
I
don't
would-
even want to hear
I
it.
would
He had the
rather-
right amount of dressing.
You know what? I'm all for like restaurant theaters. So if you want to eat a salad. But the big belly laughs that we were getting, but like
dude.
everything was like
Unnecessary.
no, like every little, and it was great, right? Because I kept looking at them, and then Austin kept looking at them, and then the only time that I laughed was the time that not the Claw, that's Inspector Gadget, but what's his name?
Claw.
Is it Claw?
Ulysses Claw.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was gonna say. I was,
I was-
but anyway, when he was like, "Yeah, you can go," and then he shot the guy in the back. He's like, "What? If the bodies are spread out, it looks like it's an amateur job." Like, I laughed so hard when he did that, and like they were totally turned off by that. So like, I love the fact that like I like the villains and I like the dark humor.
I will say
Claw
one
was great
thing
in that
that
movie.
cracked
He
me up,
was.
and completely unrelated to the movie, was that I went to work after seeing the movie, and on that very next day I was at work, I had a client who lived in Wakanda, Illinois, and I had to
Oh,
like
boy.
screenshot the little bit and like send it. I was like, what happened?
That's become all the rage now, Wakanda,
I know.
Illinois.
Hey, where's-
Yeah, that's the new thing.
That's funny.
I just thought it was great that it happened to me.
So, but the last thing. So as far as the stinger, right? If you want to do a Stan Lee thing, if you want to do a hey coming up in the next movie thing, cool. But if I have one complaint about Black Panther, it's that first stinger. That was crucial. That was a crucial element to the story. Like that should have been the end of your movie. That shouldn't have been a stinger. When he's standing there, like that was the end of Iron Man. When he stands and goes, "I'm Iron Man." Like that Black Panther ending. Like that
Well,
was
I mean,
the
what
same
about
thing.
the one where we had the Thor hammer, where we had Agent Phil Coulson finds the hammer. Like that was a big deal because that basically told us where we were going next,
When
and none
was
of us knew.
No.
And as Thor readers,
right.
I went nuts.
Right.
I was like, I
That-
probably jumped to the ceiling. When that
That
happened.
says where we're going next, which is what a stinger should do.
That's what it did.
No, it didn't. It was the follow up. It was the end. It was after. It was
It was,
after.
hey, we're gonna get this guy, this poor white boy, a new arm, and he's gonna go back to being awesome. Bucky's gonna be back. We're gonna give vibranium to everybody. Cap's get a new shield. Thor's get a new hammer. This fucking movie is gonna be so
Everyone's
good.
getting all
I'm
new
so
equipment
excited.
just in time to die, so we can get the next phase.
Thor's getting the axe, is he not?
Probably.
That's backwards,
He's been
man.
alive
He had
way
the axe
longer than he was
first.
in the comic book.
Aren't we all supposed to be getting female Thor?
Yeah, Lady Thor, man.
Jane Foster.
We get Miss Marvel.
Jane
Well, we
Foster
get
Thor.
Miss
Yeah.
Marvel later.
I don't know about Jane Foster Thor. I felt bad.
The
like-
hard part is Cap could eat it because you have Miss Marvel coming, and that's kind of what
Yeah.
her role was.
See, I don't.
Yeah.
See, I don't know what any of these.
I'm super excited for Miss Marvel. I can't wait.
like
Me
as it
too,
is.
except for the outfit's weird. But other than that, it's cool.
As
Yeah.
it is
I
with
like
the
Brie Larson.
Avengers, like the Avengers were always like B-level characters compared to like your X-Men and your Fantastic Four,
Right.
stuff like that. So because of rights reasons, like they became A-class. So now that we're getting the C-class as the new Avengers, once all the actors' contracts run up, like I don't even know who any of these people are. All I can say is when it comes to the next upcoming movies, I'm so goddamn excited for a Black Widow movie.
I'm excited for a Black
Dude,
Widow movie.
I want the Wasp. I can't wait for the Wasp.
Yeah, see,
The
I-
Wasp will be
So
good too.
cool.
But
Black
It's gonna
Widow
be
will be
so
good, but
good.
you're getting it with Red Sparrow already.
yeah, but it's
I was
not.
gonna
it-
say, go watch
I don't
Jennifer
care.
Lawrence,
It's
do
not
whatever
ScarJo.
she's doing.
No, I know.
It's not
I agree.
ScarJo. I
agree.
want ScarJo in vinyl leather, and I want a Black Widow movie.
You can go watch what was that anime that she did?
Oh God. Ghost in the Shell.
Aeon. Oh, Ghost in the Shell.
Ghost
Ghost in the Shell. Yeah.
See,
I didn't hate that.
See, I
I
might
didn't
watch.
hate it either, but it was a problem
See,
for.
there
I have
were
friends
there
that
were a
were
lot
upset
of
for
the issues were
tension.
there. I get it, but
yeah,
I still
see,
didn't hate it.
I see. I don't like anime, so
Well, you
maybe
can-
I would
I
like
don't
the
like
movie.
anime, but I like.
you can
Ghost
watch
in the Shell.
you can watch Ghost in the
Well, no,
Shell
no.
because it's a fucking shot for shot remake of the cartoon.
No, that's what I'm saying
It's
is
amazing.
that like maybe I would like it because I don't have the source material to complain about.
The source material is not my favorite.
And isn't like the big thing with that movie was like the whole whitewashing thing, but wasn't
Right.
the whole thing that like she like isn't.
Well, that was how they explained it away. Was that when she became what she was in a different body.
Right. And you know what? If you're not gonna if you're gonna say, hey, making and again,
well, if you're gonna choose a new body, wouldn't Scarlett Johansson's body be the one that you would
of
want to
course
choose?
it
I'm not
would.
gonna lie.
Of course it
That's
would.
in
And
my
if you're
top
gonna
five.
say that making the Human Torches black when it doesn't make any sense because they're all supposed to be family and the rest of them are white, like if you're gonna allow for that kind of progression, which I'm totally on board with, if you happen to get the best actress for the job who happens to be white for this movie, then just deal with it. Like why does it have to be pushed one way and fought against the
Well, that's
other?
the
Let's just
problem.
make it work.
I mean, I know we're at the end of the show, but that's the problem with the whole world is that we just continue these things. Man.
Sincast.
Let's
I know.
Sincast is
I'm
coming
really,
back.
I'm really trying to shut up.
Right at the end of the show. Good job. Good
Yeah.
job.
No.
Well done.
We just perpetuate these things over and over
Yeah.
again. Like the fact that we talk about it is the reason why it continues to be a problem.
Yeah, no, I know.
I was yelling at you a couple episodes ago when you were talking shit about MCU movies, and I was losing it.
Yelling
I was
at
literally
who?
like
Probably me
vocally-
because I'm
Him
the one
or
that
me?
talks shit
You.
about MCU movies.
You're
and
talking
I
about
was
Nate,
literally,
right?
Like in my car, like you just don't get it, man. You just don't get it.
I guess not. I don't know. That being
Just do
said,
it. We all have our things we love. That's it.
that being said, I will be
everybody's got their
lined
thing.
up day one for Fast 9, 10, and 11. So those, like, I love the comic book movies and I love
You know
the
what I
fandom.
just watched was Triple X: The Return of Xander
Jesus,
Cage.
You know what's so
why?
funny? Did you say Fast
Surprisingly
and the
not
Furious?
bad.
Yeah, Fast and the Furious
I
is.
love those. I go see
yeah,
them every time.
those
People
were-
give me so much shit, and
No,
I'm like,
I love
shut
them.
up.
They're-
I want
they're-
It's
cars.
funny for as much as you love Fast and the Furious, I would think that you would love Xander Cage.
See, that's kind of what I'm thinking. There's a lot of things.
Dude, you should
like,
watch
if
it.
you like
I-
Fast
That's
and
right up
Furious.
your alley, man.
Oh yeah, he was in the new one, right? Didn't it
Yeah,
have?
it was the return of.
isn't
He
it
was
like-
Xander Cage.
Isn't
So
it like?
there was Triple X,
Yeah.
and that was
And
Vin
then there was
Diesel.
State of the Union with Ice Cube.
Nope, fuck that movie. And then there was Triple X: The Return of Xander
So
Cage.
he Fast and the Furious Triple X.
Yeah, dude. And the opening with Sam Jackson is so fucking good.
Fast and the Furious is like kind of. I mean, I don't know how. I don't think we've ever really talked about how he feels about the newer ones, but like we saw it.
I don't feel good about the newer ones, but I'm still gonna watch them.
Yeah, like we saw it. Like that was like our
already
big
know.
summer. It was it '99? It was our freshman
Yeah,
or my
that's
freshman
why we
year.
both have the same exact
yeah,
black
we
car
both
now.
we both drive black Civic SIs right now. So like
I dated a lot of
we-
guys that drive.
We've got the
Civic.
black Civics.
Like when I was
Yeah,
in California.
I was getting a new car. He wanted a new car, and then we both wound up with black, like 2018 black Honda Civic SIs. So we have like our
Okay.
Fast and the Furious moment whenever we're like driving in tandem. So that's
okay.
so it's cool. It works. But no. So anyway, yeah. So Fast and Furious kind of thing. And to me, like they're the superhero movies. Like they're the Avengers, and their superpowers are their cars. And
Yep,
like
and I
they're
love it, and it's super fun, which is why people should stop getting so serious about comic book
yeah,
movies.
they're great.
Like, chill.
And as much
They're
as much as I am like a very loud vocal atheist and hold to myself there, the send off for Paul Walker, where like they went their own separate way, like that was incredible. And I thought, you know, for people who follow that path, like that was
Sure.
a great send off for that. And I mean, I teared up. Like I was really sad when he died. Like Paul Walker, like of the major celebrity deaths that hit me, when Jimmy Sullivan from Avenged died, I cried that day. I was emotional the day that George Carlin died. And then when it came to like actors and such, like because of my youth and growing up with Fast and the Furious, like when Paul Walker died, like that hit me pretty hard. But those are my three bigger ones.
I think the big thing is that, you know, I might talk a lot of shit, but like my policy is that honestly, I might debate with you about the quality, but like Ember, one of my co-hosts, she's total DC over Marvel, and I'm total Marvel over DC.
So
but
she's wrong.
you know what? Everybody, sure, but ultimately, what's important is that everybody can enjoy what they love, and I'm stoked that we live in a world now where I don't have to like hide that shit
It's
anymore.
50-50.
What is the flavor of that, babe?
The
It smells like bathroom.
The Batman universe is better than anything Marvel does.
No, that's wrong.
Everything
That's
Marvel
completely
does.
wrong.
Everything Marvel does is better than anything else DC does. But the Batman universe.
That's a paradoxical
Did you watch
statement you
Agents
just
of
made.
Shield, man?
huh?
There's a lot to love in Marvel, and I think
Wait,
there's a
the
lot to
flavor of
love
the
in
vape.
everything.
It's the Sour Patch Kids.
That's weird. It smells like a men's room. Like
I think we
the
just need to be
cakes.
excited that
You're
we
an
don't have to hide our
Yeah.
shit anymore. Like I don't have to be embarrassed at work about like the fact that I play video games in my free time.
Yeah,
Like
it's
I don't
cool.
have
It's
to.
cool to be a nerd now. It's cool to be a gamer now. It's
It's
cool to
nice.
be a live
Nice.
Twitch streamer. Like all that stuff is cool and it's awesome. I wish it happened 10 years ago,
Me
but
too.
you know, like I
10
mean,
years ago, we were. No, that's
like 23. Yeah, so like 15 years ago.
Are we like the same age? I think we are.
I'll
I've
be-
gotten a few.
I'll be 30.
impressions.
I'll be 34 in a month, and he'll be 30.
I'll be 34
Wait, hold
in
on,
a few
34 or 33? How old will you be?
I'm 33.
He went the entirety of last
Are we
year.
all 33?
Yeah,
We're all 33.
he went the entirety of last year, not realizing how old he was.
Well, like I said
actually thought
earlier,
I
you
was-
get to a
I
certain
thought I
age,
was
you just don't give a
31.
fuck. So
And, I completely forgot how old I was. I keep telling people I was still 31. I like forgot like a couple birthdays happened.
yeah,
Like,
no,
oh,
I thought I was older
shit.
than I was all of last year. So
Right,
don't
but
feel
thanks
bad.
to tangenting, we have slingshot past our 1 hour mark, so we will
Oh,
give
good.
it that. No, that's fine.
Holy shit!
Yeah, it's almost 11.
Wow.
So why don't you give the quick rundown of where people can find you and your stuff and all of your links, which will also be in the show notes. But
It's gotten so much easier. So I pretty much made a link to everything at thegensays.com. Pretty much the Gen everywhere. The twitch.tv/thegenplays. You can find me on Twitter at thegensays. And then thegensays.com will get you there. And then Geek Grills, check us out on everywhere that podcast exists. Please listen, enjoy. It's just a super fun show, and we want more people to. It's always fun when people write in and interact with us and tell us that we don't know what we're talking about, or that's like my favorite part. So
cool. And I will clarify it just because Hangouts is a little bit of Hangoutsy tonight. It is Geek Grills, not Geek Girls,
like
right?
barbecues, but not
Like
at all.
grills. Okay, yeah. So because it's sometimes when you say that, it sounds like girls coming through Hangouts. So I just wanted to clarify because
Geek Grill.
Hangouts is being Hangouts. So very cool. Check out our stuff. This was a lot of fun. As for this show, you can follow us everywhere, but I want to start off with the newsletter, so I don't forget. We have a newsletter now. For those that do the social media thing, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, the usuals. They've become curating things. Curating things sucks. So it hides things. You get maybe 10 or 11 views, and then you have to pay to boost things or pay for advertising. So it sucks. So a lot of the times, and a newsletter is not going to do much for like finding new people, but finding new people is always great. But also making sure our current fans and listeners know what's going on is super important. So you now, as a listener and fan and viewer for all of the shows or any individual one of the shows, can go to tinyletter.com/IG Studios and sign up for our newsletter. The newsletter will come out. The weekly newsletter will be every Thursday. It will highlight our guest for Friday night for Mind of a Geek. And then once all the other shows come back, I mean, All Geeked Up, it hasn't really gone anywhere other than the last couple of weeks because of work conflict. But it will give a brief synopsis of what we're going to be talking about on All Geeked Up that week. The game that we'll be talking about on Indie Case Files, the movie or wrestling event that we'll be talking about on either
I also
Movie
feel like
Busters,
it's a perfect time for me to just ramble.
or that was on. Yeah, you can certainly ramble. And then also any major announcements, so like big guest announcements for Mind of a Geek.
You can write all that, and I'll put a Sincasty end on it.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
The
and then
ass
like
end will be
the
Sincasty.
Sincast topic, things like that. So yeah, it's just going to be everything you basically need to know. Also cancellations, because that was kind of what started this. One of our biggest fans, Corey Scott, gave us crap one night because we had posted on Twitter, "Hey, we're going to be in Boston hanging out with Brian Ibbett. No show this week." And it got buried under everything Twitter. So, like, he missed the announcement, right? So he's like, well, do a newsletter. And I kind of gave him shit.
For all his bitching, he did get his own personal show.
He did. He got, like, a
like
personal...
a literal
hour-
one-on-two show.
Like an hour and a
he
half.
got double
Mind of a
teamed
Geek.
by us for a good 2 hours. So I don't see what his problem is.
I think he would enjoy that too much.
He did
But-
enjoy it.
He did.
And I'm chafed,
We talked,
still.
We talked Black Panther. It was good. I wish there was a way to have recorded that. I wish he could have recorded it for us because it was a Facebook call, so he could have recorded that for us. What the fuck? But anyway, so sign up for the newsletter. Again, tinyletter.com/IG Studios. So all the major announcements, and again, cancellations, reschedules, and then kind of like with the first newsletter I put out this week, a brief synopsis of the guests. So like you can check out and be familiar with their stuff before they come on. So yeah, it's cool. It works. So sign up. Again, one more time, tinyletter.com/IG Studios. But other than that, everything else is the same. You can watch the show live every Friday night at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time at twitch.tv/InkedGeekStudios or InkedGeekStudios.tv. Either one works.
You just did the Diamond Club thing and held it there for a minute, and it so reminded me of a Napoleon Dynamite-esque like 80s photo. You really needed like lasers behind you.
You know, I have a hard enough time remembering the outro. You have to interrupt it. We're supposedly supposed to be showing up on the
Supposedly, you're supposed to have this recorded already.
I did on the other computer.
Okay.
And it changes too. We're supposed to be once Diamond Club does its revamp and like gets everything settled.
We're working on it right now. We have a team of us working to make all that happen.
Right.
Get you guys involved. I'll send you a form.
Exactly. Yeah. Okay. That's what I say. Jackie's supposed to make sure we're there. So you guys are working on that. Awesome. Very cool. So anyway, yeah. So InkedGeekStudios.tv. If you want to support this show or anything else at Inked Geek Studios, you can go to patreon.com/IG Studios. And as Annalisa has already prepped for me in the chat room, give them $1. So yeah, we are about halfway to our $50 a month goal for the live Google Hangouts once a month, where you as a listener can come on and hang out with us in a Google Hangouts and ask us whatever you want. It'll be me, Brandon, Amy will show up. It all depends on the scheduling and stuff like that. But yeah, so that'll be the $50 goal. And that is open. Once that goal is reached, it is open to all patrons.
Unless you're Corey, and then you get to just sidestep all of that and get your own show.
Well, this is a chance for people who don't know us on a personal level to come on and give a shit for a while. But I don't know. It's a good idea. I think maybe, I don't know. Maybe I'll change it. I don't know.
No, don't change it.
It works for now. Yeah. As for everything else that we do, you can find everything at inkedgeekstudios.com. And as for the new photography venture with our drone photography and everything else, you can go to xsxphotography.com, and that will be all of my stuff. Or check out IG Studios Photography on Facebook, and that will, as Brandon starts uploading more stuff and tosses it in the Google Drive or puts it up on the page himself, that'll be a collaboration of mine and his drone, phone, and otherwise camera photos. So there will be, I'm switching to days in a couple of weeks, so there'll be a lot of events, a lot of outdoorsy things, a lot of bike rides probably. It'll be cool. So follow the pages, because there'll be a lot of cool shit this spring and summer, and we're pretty pumped for it. But I think that'll do it. Is that it?
I think so.
Cool. See, I add one new thing, and it makes the outro like an extra half hour long.
You just like to talk, man.
I do. It's why I podcast.
You love to talk.
Jen, thank you very much for taking the time to come on. And
it's been awesome.
Definitely welcome back at any point in time. So just, give us a shout. We'll give you a shout.
Maybe we should get you guys on the Geek Grill show.
That would be cool. I mean, we can cross-dress so we fit in.
No, you don't have to. We actually prefer the guests to show up as themselves. It's kind of a thing we do.
But yeah. So definitely come on again sometime. We'll have our people talk to your people. We'll figure it out. A big thank you to the live
people.
I guess.
Cool.
I have split personality. Big thank you to our live Twitch audience. You guys kick ass as always.
I understand why you brought up cross-dressing.
Can I get through the fucking outro?
I don't know. Can you?
I don't know.
Will you just get to it?
Thank you, Twitch. Thank you, podcast. Thank you, YouTube. Thank you, everybody. We will see you next week with Songhammer.
Yeah.
Yeah. Is it, I almost said Stormhammer. That's Songhammer. If you are a WoW fan or a Blizzard fan in general, you might be familiar with Songhammer. They had 2 music videos featured on the Blizzard launcher. Their most recent song is a song called Legion. Well, their most recent Blizzard song is a song called Legion, and it kicks ass. They have a new song called Kill the Jedi, which is a really cool Star Wars-based metal song. So,
which before I ever heard, I thought was going to be like Elmer Fudd and Kill the Wabbit.
Kill the Wabbit, yeah. But yeah, so Songhammer next week, 9:30 p.m., and we have some of their music to give away. So, which is why I'm making a big deal of this right now, because again, there's music to give away. So, in a world where anyone can download whatever they want, we're giving away free music. So yeah, check it out next week and come hang out. The guy sounds really awesome. He's really excited to come on, and we're really pumped to have him. So it should be good. Yeah, I'm done. For Jen, for Brandon, for myself, and for the rest of Inked Geek Studios.
And for Nate's split personality.
And for my split personality. Thank you all very much for listening, and we will see you next week. You've been listening to an Inked Geek Studios podcast. For this and other great shows, go to inkedgeekstudios.com.
Nice. Nicely done, Joey Style.